धर्मेंद्र से चालू किया.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to the fifth and last day of virtual workshop on Tableau desktop training with the speaker, Mr. Rahul Tiwari. And today's topic will cover dashboard and dashboard technique. So with this, I'll give to you guys, Mr. Rahul, and thank you all the participants. Over to you, Mr. Rahul.
All right. So welcome guys, welcome to the session. So I hope over the period of 4 days we learned something new about Tableau. I know it's like 5 days, 2 hours of session, so total 10 hours. In between we cover around 1.5 hours every day, because again the purpose here is that not to put more information on the head rather than covering the concepts slowly and with the basically it should be perfect rather than just completing the course, completing the classes in 2 hours and done. So that is what I did not want, and that is what I followed in the Python sessions as well. Whatever we are learning, that should be perfect, and then it's the time, or it's for us how we can explore the things. So approximately we had around 7 hours of training till now, and we have a good understanding of Tableau, how to connect to the data and how to play around with that. So today we are again going to talk about one more interesting stuff, which is dashboard technique. So we already had a discussion about the dashboards. Today we are just going to have some tricks to make the dashboard good. So the very first thing which we will do is, we already have an idea about the action filters. So based on the action filter only, we will try to do something which is making things interesting in Tableau. So I'll connect to Tableau. Let's say I'm going with the sample superstore data. Now what I want is, let me create a dashboard basically. Which will have 2-3 charts. Let's say I'll create one chart which is, so I'll have, let's say, segment, and I will have segment by sales, for example. So I'll drag sales. I'll create one more chart which will be category by sales, and one more chart which will be subcategory by sales. So I'll create one more chart which is in the products. Let's have category by sales, and let's have one more chart which is subcategory by sales. Okay. Now I will put all the three charts in the dashboard. So I'll create a dashboard here. And what I'll do is I'll have basically all the three charts in this dashboard. So I'll drag this. So now if you see here, I did one thing here. Let me remove this. You see there is a concept of containers. This is a horizontal and vertical container. So what I did is I dragged this horizontal container. And inside this container, I am dragging sheet 1. Now why this container is important? If I drag one more sheet inside this container, so let me drag sheet 2. Let's say, let me do it again. So let's say I have a container horizontal and I have sheet 1 and I have sheet 2. Now if I go to the layout, in the layout you can see there is an option in horizontal, there is sheet 1 and sheet 2. So basically inside a container only, I have both the sheets. That means it's like a bucket. Inside that bucket, I have put both the sheets. So in that case, what is the benefit to put the sheets in one container? Let me do one thing. Let me hide these sheet names, sheet title. Let me hide this. That is required to achieve what we are going to achieve now. I have to hide the title. I go to the dashboard, actions, filter. When I click on sheet 1, my sheet 2 should change on select. Now here you can see there are three options: leave the filter, exclude all values. Let me leave the filter and click OK. Now what is the benefit of this? I'll click on the consumer. This chart changed, you see. When I click on the corporate, you see the chart is changing. When I click on home offices, the chart is changing. Let me release this filter. You see this did not change. So basically whatever I have selected last, that will be, you can see it's not changing. So whatever I have selected last, that output will be shown here. I selected corporate, so these are the sales happened in the corporate for technology, office supply and furniture. So that is what my leave the filter option does. What will happen when I click on exclude all filters, because the default is show all values, which is we already aware of. Then the next is exclude all values. Click OK. Okay. Let me select this and let me release the filter. You can see the other chart which I have created is hidden now. So whenever I'm going to select, then the chart will come. When I release the filter, it will go off. When I select, chart will come. When I release the filter, it will go off. Same way I can apply the third sheet also. I'll drag this sheet 3 next to this. I'll hide the title and I'll apply one action filter, which is when I click on dash sheet 2, my sheet 3 should change on select, exclude all values. Click OK. And now I click on this. I'll get this data. If I release the filter, you can see it's gone. When I click on this chart comes in. When I click on this chart will comes in. When I release the filter, it will go off. When I click on this, you can see the corresponding data coming in. When I release the filter, by pressing escape or by just clicking outside the chart, you'll get this chart. So that is helping me to save my space, right? I don't want to waste my space. So in that case, this option we can go for, right? So that is one of the interesting concept. Next is, let's say I have a map which is at the state level. Let's say this is my sales. And then we have this value, right? I'll just drag region. So basically here I have the map which has the sales and the state. And I'll create one more sheet. Now my requirement is what? My requirement is that I want to create a dashboard in that dashboard. I'll have 4 arrows. Let's say one arrow denotes east region, one arrow denotes south region, one arrow denotes west region, and one arrow denotes, let's say, central region. How many regions we have? Let's check that. So I'll drag this region here. So you can see we have central, east, south, and west. Now what I'm looking for is, in the dashboard I will have 4 arrows. One arrow will denote central region, one arrow will denote east region, one arrow will denote south region, one arrow will denote west region. How will I do that? I will remove this region for now. I'll click on this drop down and I will click on the shapes. Basically, I want to give the shapes, right? One region will have one shape and so on. So I'll drag this region in the shapes. You can see that we have four shapes. Central is as a circle, east is as a square, south is as a plus, and west is as a cross. Let me edit that. Edit shape. Central, let's say I'll give central as this arrow. East, let's say I'll give the east as this arrow. South, I'll give this as this arrow. And west, let's say I'll give this as this arrow. And let me increase the size. So you can see when I hover, it will give me the corresponding region. This is my central region. This is my east region. This is my south region and this is my west region. Now, I want to create a dashboard where I'll put this arrows, right? So I'll click on this dashboard. I drag this arrows and I will drag sheet. Let's say I'll put this in top. Right? Now what I'm looking for here. When I click on the central arrow, only central states should come. When I'll click on the east arrow, only east states should come. And so on. Whatever arrow you're selecting, based on that, the corresponding region will come. Now, how will I do that? Basically, this is my sheet only, right? Which consists of four arrows, that is regions. If I make this as a filter, now what will happen? I'll make each arrow as a filter. When I click on that arrow, though that region should come and so on. Right? So you have to apply the action filter. Simple. So I drop down here and I'll say use as filter. Basically, I'm applying the action filter. I click on this use as filter. And now you can see that when I click on any of the arrow, this is my what region? South region. You can see it's showing me south region data. west, east, central. If I click on this fixed map, you can see here, right? That is how you'll able to play around. So basically what we did is we actually made one sheet which will have all the arrows, and we made that as an action filter. That is how we applied. All right. So that is about one more interesting stuff. One more thing I'll do. Let's say I have a map. Now in this map, what I want is I want to show everything. That means if I say I'm selecting profit, my chart will give me profit. If I'm selecting sales, my chart will give me sales. If I'm selecting discount, my chart will give me discount, and so on. So whatever you are looking for, I want that. Now how we can do that? I will create one parameter first of all. Because see, when we have to make things dynamic, you have to understand that we have the option that is nothing but parameter. Now I want to create a parameter. Parameter will have what? Parameter will have all the values which I am interested in. That is sales, profit, whatever you want, right? So let me put sales and profit up for now. So I'll create a parameter. And in the parameter, I'll go to the list. Now after this, in this I will write, let's say two values, sales and profit. So here I'll say select measure, and I'll make this a string because it's a sales which is a string, and profit that is also a string. I'll right click and show parameter control. Here you can see, let me make it as value. You can see here, you can select the values, but as of now nothing is happening because we know that parameter is a stand-alone object. So I want to create one calculated field on top of this parameter so that Tableau will understand what they are actually looking for. So I'll create a calculated field where I will write selected measure, and I will write a logic. If you are selecting the select measure as sales, then show sales. Else I have only two values, so else profit, right? Now there is one problem here, else it will be profit. So if select measure is equal to sales, when user is selecting sales, then show me sales, else show me profit. So I created a parameter where I am passing the value, and that value is what getting compared here. And I click OK. Now I will drag this select measure in the color. Now I can see when I am changing sales, it is coming sales. And when I'm changing profit coming in. Let's compare that. When I hover here, you can see the selected measure is 76381. Let me drag the profit. You see it's same. Same way if I select sales and drag sales in the label, 457688. The values are same. That means when we are selecting the values, it is actually giving me the correct values. That means the logic which we have built is correct. But the only problem is the problem is what? When I'm dragging this, or let's say I'll drag this measure, selected measure in the label, because that is what I want, right? Dynamically I want to change. So when I select, you can see the numbers are changing automatically. But here the problem is what? When I'm hovering, it is saying that selected measure. Now it is showing me selected measure. That means I have to go and check here what measure is selected, right? That means it's not giving me the information quickly. It is First of all, I have to see here. Okay, it is in Colorado. It is 32,108. It is a selected measure. What is that? That is, I have to check here. It's sales. Okay, so it's a sales. So how will I make that change? I click on the tooltip because it's happening in the tooltip, right? So I click on the tooltip and remove this part and click on the parameter, select measure. Now what is the parameter selected? Sales, right? So what is showing here? Sales. And when I'm changing to profit, it is changing to profit as well. Okay. So that is how we can create. Now, the same thing we can do with the dimensions also. For example, let's say I have category and I have sales. Now what I want is I want to give user an option that he can choose basically whether he is looking for category or subcategory or whatever, right? According to that, this should change. I'll create a parameter and here I'll go to the list and I'll write here, let's say category. Let's say subcategory and let's say state. Okay, three options I'm giving. Let's give the name as select dimension. So here is my parameter. I'll select maybe the list, single value list. You can choose whatever you're looking for. Now I'll create one calculated field because this parameter is standalone, right? So we have to make it, what do you say? We have to tag this parameter with the calculation. Selected dimension. So I'll write the logic here, right? So if select dimension is equal to state, then state else if. Now here I have three things, right? So I have to write else if. Select dimension is equal to category, then category, else subcategory, and right. These are the three options I gave to the user, and based on that, I wrote the logic. If select dimension is equal to state, then state. Then select dimension equal to category, then category, else subcategory. I click OK, and I'll remove this category from here, and I'll drag this dimension here. You can see states coming in. Now when I change to subcategory, it will show me the subcategory, and if I change to category, it will show me the category. So this makes things very much interesting in the dashboard, right? When we are creating dashboard, these techniques will help me, so that with a less number of charts, I can make things more interactive. Else suppose I don't have this option, then in that case I have to create three charts, one for category, one for subcategory, one for state. But now here with the what do you say, one chart only, we got this all option. And that is the benefit we get. Right? That is the benefit we get. Now with this understanding, obviously we can do one more thing. What we can do? I discussed about the scatter plot. I can create a scatter plot which can be dynamic also. And you can create, like, before we talk about dynamic scatter plot, I'll show you one more interesting stuff. I have how many measures? We have discount, we have profit, we have quantity, we have sales. And I will drag, let's say, subcategory in the details. This gives me a lot of insights. Now here you can see it's giving me a good pair plot. Profit sales. What is the relation? Sales and discount, there is a relation, right? You can see a beautiful relation coming in, like it's like a profit sales, what is the relation? Sales discount, what is the relation? Sales quantity, what is the relation? Same way profit quantity, what is the relation? Same way discount profit, what is the relation? And so on. Okay, So that is like basically the pair plot type of a chart. But let's create the dynamic scatter plot. So in a scatter plot, we require two measures and one dimension. So here what I'm looking for is that I want to make my one dimension as dynamic and my uh, all the both the two measures as dynamic as well. Okay. So how will we can do that? So in that case, I will first create three parameters. One parameter which will handle the dimension and two parameters which will handle the measure. So three parameters we will create. The first one is, let's say, x-axis, right? I'll give it as, let's say, sales. Sales. Now here I have to make it as string. So I'll have sales, profit, okay, and I'll duplicate this, which will be my y-axis. Y-axis. So I have x-axis, I have y-axis. And one more thing I have to select. One is for the dimension, right? List. And I will drag this as dimension. Now here also I'll pass the value. Let's say I'll pass state, subcategory. I'll take this too, okay. And click OK. So I have created three parameters. That is my first parameter. That is my second parameter. That is my third parameter. and I will make this as, let's say, single value list, single value list, single value list. Now what will happen? This parameter is like static parameter, right? I'll create one calculated field for each parameter. I have to create the calculated field for each parameter. So let's say this is x-axis. Let's give the name. And I'll write if x-axis is equal to sales, then sales. You can see the logic which we are writing is the same, but this time we are writing lot many parameters. Else profit. And click OK. I'll duplicate this, and this is my y axis. And here I'll just change my y axis, right? The parameter which we have created. And click OK. So I tagged my parameter, which is x-axis parameter and y-axis parameter, with the calculated field. Still, I have to tag this dimension also. That is pending. So I'll create one more calculated field. Let's say select granularity. Basically, I want to change my granularity, right? And then I'll write if select what name I give, dimension I give, right? The name here. So if dimension is equal to state, then state, else subcategory. So I created one more calculated field for this third parameter, that is dimension. So everything is now dynamic. Obviously, we have to apply that in the Tableau, but we wrote the logic. Everything will be dynamic now. I will drag this x-axis. It will be my x-axis. You can see here. I will drag my y-axis, and I will drag the what name we gave. Select gran something, right? Gran, this one. I'll drag it in details. And now you can see here. It's changing, right? Everything is now dynamic. So you can see this is my dynamic, but there is a problem. The problem is that x axis, y axis, and when I'm hovering, everything is as of now very vague. Select grand means what? It is actually state. So I have to go to the tooltip. I have to remove this and I have to call the parameter which is select this one dimension. My x-axis I have to change the parameter also, that is this, and my y-axis also I have to change this. Now at least we are at the good shape here. State, profit and sales. Now we are understanding what is shown here. But the problem here is that this x-axis and y-axis. I'll go to the dashboard and I will drag this sheet. And I will remove this. I'll double click on this and I'll remove it because this is not giving me much information, right? This is showing me x-axis and y-axis, which is not what I'm looking for. I'll remove this. And I will drag this text. You see this text option? I'll drag it here. And I will call the parameter. Which parameter? X-axis. You can see here, sales. Now it is giving me a lot of insights, right? That my x-axis is sales. Same way I'll drag the text here and drag the parameter y-axis. I can change this alignment. There is an option. So edit text, not edit text. There is one option we have like this. Now whatever you are going to change, you can see it is gonna change. Profit, sales, profit. Automatically it is changing. And that is how we can make the dynamic scatter plot. So basically from here we understood that how we can make things dynamic. And you can see the power of parameters. Parameter is an option which is actually give me a lot of insights, which is give me a lot of flexibility to make things dynamic. And with that I can make my dashboards in a way that with few number of charts I can have more number of insights, and that is the best we have. I hope this makes sense to all of you. This is what I wanted to cover in today's session. Any questions, please let me know. So I hope this gives you a lot of insights about Tableau. Again, it's a whole big subject, but at least as you guys are non-technical, so I did not want to jump, but I covered the basic things which we will able to use in our day-to-day work. So any questions you can ask. Dharmendra, over to you.
सर 2 मिनट चेयरमैन सर आ रहे हैं सर.
Okay.
Uh, Very good evening once again. I welcome Mr. Our WIC Chairman, Mr. Lalit Sir, on the dais. Please give us some insight on the closing remarks, sir.
Thank you, Dharmender. Is the session finished or I have just penetrated in?
No, just we have closed. Just now we have closed the session. He's
Superb,
closing.
superb. So, hope all the participants have really enjoyed and at the same time got very good insights on the subject. Actually, I, as chairman of WIRC, I am really very much excited, and at the same time, I am surprised that WIRC is coming out with such novel topics and planning so many programs on all these novel topics. Let me at the outset really congratulate and thank Kapoor madam for coming out with all these ideas and ensuring that the program is run in a free flow manner at WIRC. Rahul ji naturally is an expert on the subject and he has been always sharing insights on various subjects. Dharmender ji, Shweta has been helping us. Tableau, we are traditional practitioners and somewhere we are dealing into management consultancy. But when it comes to technology, you can give us 0 out of 10 or max you can give us 1 out of 10. But believe me, you are very fortunate. The participants who are attending today's program or say attending these workshops, various workshops on technology, data analysis, whether it is Tableau or whether it is any Office 365 or any other concept on which we have been organizing, I think so you are really fortunate that you are getting such varied topics and basket of different sorts of subjects wherein we as chartered accountants really it is a very significant subject wherein we need to develop ourselves, we need to develop some understanding or expertise. And I am happy that team WIRC is really enabling us to conduct these programs. In coming months also, couple of programs are planned. It will be announced shortly. We have just finalized one program today. It will be announced within a day or two. I would like to get some suggestions from the participants as to if there is any specific subject and any specific area wherein you feel that this should be of really general relevance to the members. Please contact us. Please tell us so that we can ensure that that is on the forum of WIRC and really you all can engage into that program. I would really look for some suggestions from you because at times when it comes to these subjects, it is really difficult for us to really understand what is next. But believe me that we have been trying to cover the whole gamut in the last 7-8 months, and in the next couple of months we will be trying to cover a lot many subjects as far as this particular data analysis or technology or say tally, Excel, everything is concerned. With this, I congratulate all of you. I believe that you have been attending previous programs and you will be getting the certificate for this program also, certificate of participation, and that must be adding value to whatever profile you are sharing with wherever it is concerned about. Over and above this, if any suggestion is there, do let us know. WIRC is taking various initiatives, whether it is tools, whether it is free publications, whether it is help desk, whether it is women empowerment, whether it is mentorship program, whether it is research forum, whether it is industry specific interactive meet. There are lot many initiatives which WIRC is taking. Please feel free to write to us. Please feel free to speak to us and tell us that this is the area wherein I will really like to engage myself or contribute in some or the other manner. Please write to us. It will really help us and it will really energize us to plan, to take some more initiatives in those directions. So with this, thanks for being part of this particular workshop, and thanks for being with us for in taking all these innovative ideas and innovative initiatives. I look forward for more and more interaction with all of you in near future, and I wish you in advance happy Diwali and a very prosperous Diwali, cracking Diwali, because we will not be cracking fireworks this time, but let us hope that we will be having a cracking life in near future ahead with all this knowledge and insight on various subjects. WIRC is very proactive on any of the areas, in any of the concern areas for professionals. Do come ahead and talk to us. Thank you once again. Thank you, Dharmender, for ensuring that it is a smooth passage for conducting this program, and you are really doing a great job. Please keep doing this. And Rahul ji, it is really great that you are ensuring that chartered accountants can really gain a lot of knowledge through your insights. Hopefully you will be engaging yourself in various other workshops of WIRC. We look forward for lot many inputs from your side. Thank you to all of you from WIRC. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit.
Thank you, Lalit sir, and same to we wish you the same happy Diwali and prosperous happy advance New Year. And recording session of the today's or all the session will be shared on the WhatsApp group or on the WIRC website, and plus recording will be available on the WIRC YouTube channel also. And thank you all the participants for attending the today's session. Thank you, Lalita, for your closing remark. Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for your wonderful session of this 5-day session. And today we covered this dashboard techniques and how to prepare and how to present the data analytics. Thank you. With this, we'll close today's session, and all the recording will be shared on the WhatsApp group also. So all the participants get on their WhatsApp link also. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.